You are watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. Yes, we did have a weather delay here in Lubbock, Texas, but have no fear because football is here as the Oklahoma State Cowboys are in town to take on the 14th ranked Red Raiders of Texas Tech. From Jones AT&T Stadium, oh, what a great scene here for college football. A look at the standings in the Big 12 Conference, and you will see that one loss for Texas Tech. That came last week against Arizona State at ASU, and that could prove to be a big loss. We'll have to wait and see how the season plays out. But with that said, we get to welcome you to the broadcast booth. Welcome to the Dustin and Justin Show. Dustin Fox, Justin Kutcher, happy early Halloween.
It is. He may not be as obsessed with Halloween as I am. I made him wear a Halloween tie. He picked what, pumpkins?
I did pumpkins.
Yeah, I'm bad today. So here we go. Happy Halloween, everybody.
We're in a good mood for Halloween. The question is, what kind of mood is Texas Tech in? Because after that loss last week at Arizona State, how do you respond? Well, speaking with Joey McGuire, he said Tuesday was incredible. The week of practice has been amazing.
There's no doubt. I mean, they're sort of angry. You know, it's an angry group, and this is something that can be a bit of a blessing in disguise at times when you look at this program. They're without their starting quarterback for the second straight week, and I think what we saw out of Will Hammond in that fourth quarter last week was awesome. And what I really want to see here in the start of this ball game is Mac Lefwich, their offensive coordinator. He said to us yesterday, they really want to let him sling the ball around the yard, and that's going to be fun to watch early in this game.
Jacoby Williams with the return. How about this start? Williams, he's got one man to beat. Down the sideline. He takes it 99 yards. Jacoby Williams has been described by his coaches as explosive. I don't know if you get much more explosive than that to start a game.
Well, we were chatting with the offensive staff yesterday. They were just saying how electric this young man is and how they need to get the ball in his hands more frequently. How about the first snap of the game? Not even a snap. The first kick of the game to the house. My goodness, what a start.
Stone Harrington, the extra point is good. If this place wasn't rocking before, it is certainly rocking right now. Jacoby Williams. Wow.
Before you could even blink, the Red Raiders are on the board. I mean, a missed tackle right around the 15-yard line, and the rest is history out the gate. Hello.
Oklahoma State, we didn't even get to tell you this. They won the toss and deferred. I know hindsight's 2020, but maybe they're thinking, we should have accepted.
There's nothing worse, I got to tell you, there's nothing worse than being on the opposition and they house the opening kickoff. It happened twice to me in my career. Once was in high school. We were playing a rival, and Mike Doss, who's a legend, played for Ohio State, played for the Colts, Super Bowl champion, returned it 90 yards, first play of the game, and we were done.
Wow.
It was just crazy. So we'll see if Oklahoma State can respond. That's going to be a tough task. This is an electric environment, and the Red Raiders are off to a red-hot start.
Joey McGuire has to like that response right away by his team.
Oklahoma 16.
First kickoff
Oklahoma
return
State 16
touchdown for Red Raiders since 2023 when Dre McCray did it. And here on the kickoff, a fair catch is made at the 8 by Gavin Freeman. So this year has not gone the way that Oklahoma State would have hoped. Couple of things. One, they win their first game. They've lost their last 6. Their longtime coach, Mike Gundy, was fired. Doug Meacham has taken over as the interim head coach. You've got a guy in Sam Jackson V who began this season as a wide receiver. He is now playing quarterback after injuries to the first 2 quarterbacks.
to be fair, it's not like this guy's never been a quarterback.
Correct.
He was recruited as a quarterback, coming out of high school as a high school quarterback, but really sort of understands that his future at the next level is probably as a slot wide receiver.
His first pass is to the sideline of Texas Tech, incomplete. Was looking for Shamar Rigby, but they were not on the same page. Now, one thing about Sam Jackson, last week in the loss to Cincinnati, 49-17, he relied a lot on Rodney Fields Jr., the freshman running back. Fields not going to play most likely here in this game, so we're going to see a lot of Sesi Vaialahi. On second down, the pass to the far side is complete. That's Gavin Freeman. And Freeman will take it up to the 29-yard line as we take a look at today's impact players, brought to you by Freestyle Libre.
Taking a look at both sides of the ball. The running back position, we just talked about it. Vaialahi is going to be the one who's probably going to get the bulk of the carries today. And David Bailey, defensively, he's all world. Will play at the next level. There's really no way to describe him other than that. I mean, he leads the nation in sacks. He's a disruptive player in the backfield. I'm not telling Texas Tech fans anything they don't already know.
Here on 3rd and 6, they dump it off to Vaialahi. And he's going to be tackled just shy of that first down marker, a yard shy. Jacob Rodriguez, part of this fantastic linebacker core to make that tackle. And now a decision here for Oklahoma State. You're already down 7-0. It's 4th and 1. And now they're going to make a late change and punt. I was going to be very surprised if they did not punt right there. I mean, you could have been giving Texas Tech incredible field position.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm always kind of like roll the dice and feel like a yard in this situation is something that's attainable, but I get it. Well,
instead of that, you get a block. This is what Texas Tech can do. Special teams.
It was blocked by McDonald, and then I think it was Tillman, 18, I believe, who ends up catching the ball like it was a punt return, and so they get better field position than if Oklahoma State would have gone for that and not been successful on the attempt. So how about the special teams of the Red Raiders to start this game?
Unbelievable. Already a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Now a blocked punt. Great starting field position. Will Hammond. He'll swing it out to Jacoby Williams in the open field. And Williams in for a second touchdown.
Did we mention in the open that the Red Raiders were a little angry this week in practice?
Yeah.
Because they have come out with a vengeance. I think they're tired of, hitting each other's the same color jerseys in practice this week, and now an opportunity to take it out on the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. And
Upton Belafont, he misses the extra point. Correct me if I'm wrong. They say wreck 'em here?
They do.
Yeah, the Red Raiders are off to a wreck 'em type start. Jacoby Williams, a couple of touchdowns. It's 13-0. Texas Tech leading Oklahoma State. A ridiculous start for Texas Tech to open up this ball game. 99-yard kickoff return by Jacoby Williams. Special teams, a block punt on the first defensive possession. The next play, 26-yard touchdown pass to Williams. Another fair catch is signaled and made by Gavin Freeman. The interim head coach is Doug Meacham. This guy who is coaching at his alma mater. He played on the offensive line. Well, Mike Gundy was the quarterback.
And that's not the only star that was on that team.
No, they had a couple of guys.
A couple of running backs, I think. I don't know.
Thurman Thomas and some guy, Barry.
No, it's Larry.
Oh, Barry Sanders. That's it, yeah.
Get a couple of good ones, huh?
Trailing 13-0, starting at the 25. First handoff of the day to Vailahi, and he'll take this one up to the 29.
I thought it was funny. Doug Meacham said to us yesterday, we asked him about, blocking for Barry Sanders, blocking for Thurman Thomas. What was it like? He said, I just tried to get out of their way.
Yeah.
He's like, I slowed him down, That was a great comment. Coaches, was a lot of fun to chat with yesterday, and obviously a very difficult spot that they're in right now, and it's unique. You've had a coach been there for 20-plus years, and it's a down year, so it's going to be interesting to see how things close out, but I'm trying to put something on tape here today for these young men.
Here's Jackson on the run, completes the pass to the tight end, Grayson Brousseau. Quentin Stewart. And that will be a first down. Jacob Rodriguez credited with another tackle. Here's the bio on Doug Meacham. That offensive lineman. He was here as the offensive coordinator, now the interim head coach. He's handed off play calling duties to Kevin Johns, the quarterback coach. And this is a designed run for the quarterback, Sam Jackson, and he's got nowhere to go. It'll be a loss of 1 as Jacob Rodriguez has his 5th tackle already.
We haven't played 5 minutes, and he has 5 tackles. This guy is everywhere for this defense. I mean, it's honestly, as a former defensive player myself, this is a defense that's fun to watch. They just do things the right way. They play hard, they play fast, and they're physical, and they get to the football, and they get there with a bad attitude. That's what you love to see.
Handoff, once again, it's to Sesi Vailahi, and he'll take it to the 39-yard line, setting up third and about 7.
So it's interesting because Oklahoma State last week against the Bearcats decided they wanted to try to slow things down. They wanted to play a little bit more not so much tempo, right? I think that was what they wanted to do today. That's what they want to try to do. But the problem is they're down 13 points already. Right. So what do? I mean, you're down 2 touchdowns. There's tons of time left. But that whole keep away thing is tough when you're down 2 scores.
Here on 3rd and 7. Pass towards the sideline is incomplete, intended for Rigby. Shamar Rigby and Gavin Freeman are the 2 primary targets that you'll see Sam Jackson look to.
Good coverage out there by Amir Boyd, number 27, the cornerback. Does a really nice job. And look, it's been a struggle for Oklahoma State this season. They've been unable to keep any of their quarterbacks healthy. Their leading receiver has just over 200 yards receiving on the season. So you're playing one of the best defenses in the country on the road. This is not going to be an easy task for the Cowboys.
Aiken let it go, and he was lucky as that one bounces into the end zone for a touchback. But a fantastic start for Jacob Rodriguez and Texas Tech, 13-0 here in the first.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Don't forget, coming up at 7:30 Eastern on ABC and the all-new ESPN app, it's the final game of the tripleheader as number 20 LSU hosts number 3 Texas A&M in Death Valley. That should be a good one. Death Valley, an incredible atmosphere, especially at night. So we've seen one play for this Texas Tech Red Raiders offense. It was a touchdown pass from Will Hammond to Jacoby Williams. Here, as they will start at the 20. Cameron Dickey in the backfield. Instead, a little shovel pass. And that's to Jacoby Williams. And Williams is going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose 3.
Nice job there by McDaniel, who ends up making that stop. But again, here comes the tempo of the Red Raiders offense. And as I sort of mentioned there in the open a little bit, I want to see if Hammond's going to air this thing out early in the ballgame, and he is.
Here's the chance to air it out down the field, and it's incomplete. Looking for Caleb Douglas.
Douglas goes 6'4", 205, and it's a double move, almost like a triple move down the field, working against the corner, Eric Fletcher, 13 of Oklahoma State. You can see Douglas was complaining about a little contact there.
3rd and 13, leaving it off for Dickey. He'll break a tackle, and he's going to be shoved out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That'll bring on the punt team for this Texas Tech squad, as I would say their offense has been slowed down, but I mean, that was the first few plays we really saw from the offense.
I mean, really kind of like the first possession of the game, you know, with the kickoff return and the block punt. It's just one snap of offense. That was just the 4th snap of offense they've had thus far. So I would say it's a nice stop by the Oklahoma State defense, a defense that is near the bottom of the FBS in 3rd down defense overall.
Gavin Freeman backpedaling back to his own 20-yard line. He is surrounded by red jerseys, able to break a few tackles and take it to the 28-yard line. Well, this is what we talked about early on, how this Oklahoma State team is already on its 3rd quarterback, and you don't see this very often, Foxy, that the 3rd quarterback is a guy who began the year as a wide receiver.
Yeah, it really is crazy. You know, he's 5'10", 195, Sam Jackson is, but he's so talented, and they don't have a lot of options. This young man is so skilled, and when you're trying to get something going on offense, I actually think it's a smart idea to add the dynamic element of his running ability to the offense when you can't get things going through the air.
The pass to Freeman down the sideline. Freeman, good run after the catch as he is across the 40, taken down, marked down at the 42-yard line, picks up 15.
Well, you can see there's a concerted effort to get the ball in Freeman's hands to start this game. He needs to have a breakout game. I mean, he's the leading receiver, and that's not a lot of catches, and that's not a lot of yards. It tells you how much of a struggle it's been for this offense to start the year, but Freeman's one of those guys that can make some plays, just needs one of those games. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is something that gets them going offensively.
Now Terrell Davis motions out of the backfield. Empty backfield here. Jackson on the run. And this is where the speed takes off. And we spoke with Doug Meacham, and he's like, look, this guy, we believe he's going to make money in this game, but he's going to make money as a slot receiver. Slot receivers typically have some shiftiness and some speed. We just saw that.
No doubt. At his size, though, I mean, the thing that was interesting to me, and Doug Meacham pointed this out, he's got 10.5-inch hands.
Yes,
that's the largest hands on the team.
It's like Johnny Manziel.
Incredible. So obviously he can catch the football, but they say the way he throws the ball, he throws a very catchable football, nice tight spiral that comes out of his arm, or his hands rather, beautifully.
Look at the way he holds the ball right there, just so free and easy. You think about a guy in basketball like a Michael Jordan, how he would palm the ball, pump fake, That's what he's doing with the ball in his hands. Typically, you don't teach that to your quarterback. But when you have the hands like that, you're like, oh, you're playing with a mini football.
I was just going to say mini football, like back in the day when we go out in the backyard and you have like whatever random team that you got those mini balls and you go out there and throw them around. It was fun to launch those things. But this kid, he's got an arm, he can run, and certainly is a dynamic athlete for the Cowboys. Big 3rd and 8 here.
Trent Howland has come in, 6'2", 247 pounds in the backfield. Pressure coming. Jackson, he's got to get rid of it, and he's going to throw this one away. Pressure was coming once again. This time it was Jaden Cofield applying some pressure.
You know, it's kind of crazy. Texas Tech has so many big defensive linemen. When I say big, I'm talking like, 6'3", 6'4", but in the 300-pound plus range. But these guys can move for big dudes. I mean, right there you saw Cofield, sprinting his butt off to try and make a play on the quarterback, the athletic quarterback, and nearly gets home for the sack.
Wes Paul on to punt yet again. Coy Aiken. Fair catch. Has to dive. He muffs it. And it looks like Texas Tech has covered. They recover the muff punt, and they will take it at the 18. That's where this next series and drive will start for the Red Raiders. Well, this game was delayed about 30 minutes, and if you joined us late, you missed a lot because Jacoby Williams took the opening kickoff 99 yards for a touchdown. Then they had a block punt. The next play, how about Jacoby Williams taking the pass and going into the end zone? 13-0, Texas Tech leading. Justin Kutcher, Dustin Fox with you here. And here on first down, it is a handoff up the middle. And that'll be a pickup of 3 yards as Parker Robertson makes the tackle.
It's a pretty good start to an afternoon for Jacoby Williams. one of the more electric players in the entire Big 12 Conference.
Pass, that was incomplete, dangerous. That actually hit off of Eric Fletcher, defensive back. So really, with the exception of that one touchdown pass, we haven't seen much offensively for this Texas Tech team, which last week the Red Raiders lost 26-22 at Arizona State, and we got to see how Will Hammond responds. On third down, forced out of the pocket, he's got some green. He's trying to run for that first down, and he does get it. Very heads-up play right there by the redshirt freshman.
Yeah, he's an athletic guy. I mean, for, you know, a guy who can obviously make all the throws at his size, 6'2", 210, very, very mobile. And when you think about what he's done on the season, he's got 5 rushing touchdowns already, so he is a mobile quarterback.
Quick pass to Coy Aiken, makes one man miss.
You know, one thing to note today as well, in terms of this offense and how they're going to open things up a little bit more, they're without Terrence Carter. He's not going to play in this ball game, which means they're going to play a lot more 10 personnel, which is going to be those empty sets. You're going to see four wide receivers, sometimes 5 wide receivers on the field with an empty set like you saw on that third down where he just took off and ran.
There's a handoff to Cameron Dickey. And Dickey, he'll get the first down. The offensive coordinator, Mac Leftwich, young offensive coordinator, he said, you know what, last week, I take a lot of the blame because I wasn't letting this young freshman, Will Hammond, let it rip. I was trying to be too cautious. And now he said this week, as you mentioned, we're going to let him rip it.
Taking the training wheels off early in this ball game. He probably should have done that a little earlier in the ASU game. Did it in the fourth quarter, and he saw the results. I mean, they nearly won the ball game, nearly stole the win on the road, which obviously would have been huge for them. But hey, nonetheless, they still control their own destiny. They win out. I mean, they're going to be playing for the Big 12 title and a chance to get themselves in the college football playoff.
Handoff again to Cameron Dickey, and this time he cannot escape. Gets hit in the backfield, almost tripped up. He's going to lose 5 yards. It's Deshaun Brown who makes that tackle.
Now, the 87 Deshaun Brown gets in the backfield. He beats the tackle. Excuse me, the left guard. That's Will Jados, 76. And then he's just, all right, here I am in the backfield, but what am I going to do? And all of a sudden, he's, you know, the running back falls into his lap. That's a great job defensively. Now 3rd and long.
A couple of tackles for a loss already for this defense for Oklahoma State, forcing 3rd and 12. Hammond throws over the middle, completes it to Reggie Virgil. Virgil's got the first down, still on his feet. And Virgil is going to take it inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. A pickup of 24 on 3rd and long.
Talk about a game of inches because there was pressure. Deshaun Brown nearly comes away with a sack here. Another maybe step, and he's in the face of Will Hammond.
Now the pass to Aiken on the far sideline. And you think about how big of a play that was for Texas Tech. Conversely, how crushing of a play that is for Oklahoma State.
Got him in 3rd and long. It was 3rd and 12. You nearly come up with a sack. Think about how big you flip the field. Like, you'd have the ball back to your offense, and just all of a sudden now, I mean, they're approaching the red zone again, trying to make this a 3-score game early in the first quarter.
10th play of the drive coming up. To Aiken again. And Aiken gets wrapped up at the 25 by Landon Cleveland. And Aiken comes up hobbling just a bit as he walks off the field. Cameron Dickey comes back in at tailback. Jacoby Williams goes to the bench. 3rd and 1. With how aggressive Joey McGuire is, you know this is 2-down territory. He will go for it on 4th.
Absolutely.
Now it's direct snap. Cameron Dickey. And Dickey, it looks like he is going to get the first down. Just gets by.
That second effort by Dickey is enough to push past the line to gain. Love that call, though. You've got Hammond in there at the quarterback spot. He just motions out. But then Dickey's right there, little wildcat action. And they snuck John Carlos Miller in there in the backfield as well, one of their tight ends to block at 6'5", 250 pounds.
How do you sneak someone that big in there?
Great question.
Hammond in the shotgun, fakes the toss, now comes back to Aiken. Aiken, I love the trickery right there.
But to your point, all these dudes are wearing single-digit jerseys now. It's hard to tell how big they are until you actually like stand next to them. But like Miller's wearing number 9. And Terrence Carter wears number 7. On the defensive side of the ball, Skylar Gill Howard, who's not playing obviously, he wears number 0. So it's a trend.
It's going to be 2nd and 2 right here. It's kept by Hammond, and we've got a flag as Hammond's going to go down and lose some yards. We'll also see what this flag is for. Wendell Gregory, sort of the star of this defense. He came up with a stop. The referee today is David Alvarez. This is the first flag of the game. Here we are with 1:46 to go in the first quarter. Love to see that.
Don't jinx this, partner.
Hey, I just said I love to see it.
Face mask, defense, number 4, have to finish to the goal on automatic, first down.
Well, it's going to be a face mask against Wendell Gregory. Personal foul, and so now you're going to go half the distance. And this is going to set up 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Empty backfield set up right now for Hammond and Texas Tech. Motions back in as Dickey. Dickey takes it up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown. Almost too easy. What a job by the offensive line.
Nearly untouched all the way to the end zone. Now, did they keep the offense on the field and go for 2? It looks like they may, as they missed the PAT on that 2nd touchdown by Jacoby Williams, and we'll see a 2-point attempt. But look at this run. I mean, this is...
That's nice if you're a running back.
I was going to say that you could run through that hole.
I could, yeah.
At 5'5", 5'6".
Oh, thanks. That's
kidding.
awfully generous
I'm
of
kidding,
you.
partner. I've heard about your hoop game now. Here we go.
On the 2-point try. Up the middle again with Dickey. And Dickey is in. So after a missed extra point, they convert here on the 2-point conversion and make it a 21-0 game. And by the way, you see that guy, Howard Sampson, the left tackle?
He's big.
He's a transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't sneak him anywhere.
No.
He's 6'8", 340.
Well, at least he wears the right number, 79 right there, the big fella.
Well, as it's 21-0 here in Lubbock, time now for our Fansville College Football Update, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Around the Big 12, what's happened so far today? Kansas State taking down their in-state rival, Kansas. Iowa State leading BYU. That's big. That's big for a variety of reasons, but BYU,
they're
ranked
undefeated.
number 11, they're undefeated. All of a sudden, that opens things up.
Well, you got BYU and Cincy both undefeated at the top of this conference, and you know, if Iowa State can hold on and knock off BYU, that makes things interesting. Obviously, it's a tough challenge for the rest of the season here for the Red Raiders, as they've got Kansas State, but then BYU to follow that game here in the middle of November 8th, in fact. But this is going to be a fight to the finish in the Big 12. It's wide open, I think. I mean, you've got some really good, talented teams here at the top. Everyone thought that Texas Tech maybe could run the table. I don't think anyone's going to run the table in this conference.
It's really hard to do that. And sometimes a loss is actually good for a team. It humbles you. You don't know how the team's going to respond. The fact that this team came out and responded in practice and then here to open this game the way they have, Joey McGuire's got to be loving it. As Trent Howlands gets wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
Well, as long as they get to the Big 12 title game, it really doesn't matter how you get there, because once you're in that ball game, you have a chance to win, go to playoffs, and see what happens there. But you're right. The building was electric this week. They were angry. They were walking around, and there were some choice words maybe Coach said we wouldn't say on the air, how the guys were acting in a positive way. You know what I mean? Like they're turning a negative into a positive, and you've seen the response. I mean, how many? Sometimes you're playing a team like this, a 1-6 team. They fired their coach. Maybe you come out flat. Maybe you wouldn't have quite, the level of intensity for a game quite like this. But these guys have come out today balling.
Another handoff to Howland. A good run here as Howland takes it to the 31. Picks up 6, sets up 3rd and 4 as this first quarter is going to wind on down. And at this rate, trailing 21-0, if you're Oklahoma State, you're going to let this first quarter come to an end and get to the second quarter. No reason to run a play here before this quarter expires.
Maybe try to get a free first down.
As it goes to 0. That will end this first quarter. What a first quarter it was, especially for that man right there, Jacoby Williams. A couple of touchdowns. It's 21-0. Red Raiders leading the Cowboys of Oklahoma State.
Well, kick off your Week 8 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown Crew on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. They have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and previews of each game right up until kickoff.
That was Dustin, not Justin. That's all what you get with a part of the Dustin and Justin experience here.
It's the Justin Crew.
All right, third down right now. Trent Howland is in at quarterback in the Wildcat formation for the Cowboys. Up the middle, and he's got the first down. So that timeout between quarters allowed Kevin Johns, the play caller, to come up with that play, say, you know what, we're going to go Wildcat with our big running back. Again, big, 6'2", 247.
Maybe they stole a little page out of what Texas Tech did on the previous drive when they put Dickey in as a Wildcat quarterback. Nonetheless, it picks up the first down for them, keeps the drive alive, and they've got to sustain some drives here and keep their defense off the field.
Sam Jackson back in at quarterback. Handoff once again to Howland. And Howland, look at him go, that second effort. You can tell just looking at him, he is not an easy guy to bring down as he picks up 6 on first down.
No, he's a big dude. And I'll tell you what, Brendan Jordan at the end of this run comes in and goes low, like to the thigh board area of Howland. You'll see he just knifes in here right at the end and still barely gets him on the ground. You know, he knifes in there like a missile, and it's still challenging to get him down.
2nd and 4. Pass to Freeman, and Freeman, he'll pick up a couple, maybe get 1. John Curry with a stop.
I'm just watching 7 fly around out there right now. Brendan Jordan, safety, strong safety, who last week had a challenging game. You know, they took some deep shots on him. Arizona State did. Jordan Tyson made a couple of big plays, and I think it's a big game for him. You could see he's playing a little bit angry right now, trying to get up there inside the box and make some stops, and you know, playing with his hair on fire a little bit more.
3rd and 3 as Terrell Davis goes in motion. Jackson coming back, trying to set up the screen, and Texas Tech read that one. They were all over it.
Now this is an area where you may consider going for it, or maybe they won't.
Cole Wisniewski was right there. How about that play by Wisniewski? Four drives, 4 punts here for Oklahoma State. Coy Aiken.
Fake. It was a fake. And he's short.
There is a flag. Flag in the backfield. Well, obviously, if this is against Texas Tech, that's big.
The protected back number 82 is inside the frame of the snapper. That's an illegal formation on the offense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down, Texas Tech.
Wow.
Timeout on the field.
Well, it's been a field position battle solved by the special teams of Texas Tech to start this game. I mean, you've got block punt, stop the fake punt, and a house call on a kickoff return to start this game. It's 21-zip from Lubbock.
Let's take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Prudential. Looking at the top 10 right here, and really the important win was Ole Miss going on the road after the loss last week and beating Oklahoma. Here in good starting field position. First pass. Oh, what a catch. Corey Aiken goes up high to make the grab. Flags come flying in. He hung on to the ball, and now we could potentially see targeting.
I mean, we'll have to see the replay, but my initial thought was that's not a legal hit.
All I know is Coy Aiken just showed a huge amount of toughness to go over the middle, leap up in the air, knowing you're going to take a hit, and then hanging on to make the grab.
Oh, not only that, he gets up unfazed, points first down.
It was a catch. Personal foul targeting defense number 8. The previous play is under review for targeting.
That's Parker Robertson, the fifth-year senior, who is a big-time leader on this defense, and boy, they need to have him. You know, there's not too many guys on this defense that.
I think it's gonna be fine.
You think it's stand? You think it's?
I think it's
shoulder.
reversed.
Think it's shoulder.
Yep.
Let's take a look.
I think it's shoulder to shoulder. Actually, it just looks worse in real time.
Well, in real time, there's a launch, but his helmet's up. It doesn't. It's not helmet to helmet. It's not the head or neck area. But I'm done speculating on these because I've been wrong like 90% of the time.
Well,
so
look,
to me, I think it's not targeting, but we'll see.
The replay official is Gerald Alston, and I think it's really easy when you see it in real time to say, oh my God, that's targeting.
Yeah.
The way he falls back. Then when you slow it down, and this is what I like, is that we now go to review these to make sure it is targeting, so that a player, if it's not, doesn't get ejected.
Well, and they're getting them right. You know, we watch these videos every week with Steve Shaw, the head of officiating, and they're down. The numbers on targeting are way down over the last several years, and I think they're doing a much better job. You know, obviously they've replayed, they call down to the field. They're not calling a ton of these.
So here's where there could be a discrepancy. The rule states this: a dangerous hit involving a launch, upward thrust, or severe strike. 15-yard penalty and disqualification with either forcible contact to the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent and any forcible hit of the crown. There wasn't forcible hit by the crown of the helmet. Was there forcible contact to the head and neck area?
You know, after review, it is a completed catch, and there is no targeting at number 8.
Good. Yeah. Right call. I think it's the right call.
I agree.
And the other thing is the other defender there, I believe it's Brian McCoy underneath, kind of takes the legs out from Aiken. And at that point, that's why he went down so fast. As the hit occurred, it was a bang-bang play that just looked so violent right there in real time.
It goes for a 26-yard completion. And it's now a red zone opportunity as it's 1st and 10 from the 20, and number 20, Jacoby Williams, is in. Hammonds taking the shot down the sideline towards the end zone, and Aiken nearly made a spectacular grab as Kenneth Harris was there on the coverage. Aiken reached over Harris and around his head to try to come down with that.
Yeah, it seemed like the ball kind of tipped up in the air almost like forever, as this nearly could have been intercepted by Harris. Or even the other defender, LaDainian Fields, who comes over from his cornerback spot.
Up the middle, watch out, Williams. Anytime he touches the ball now, your heart rate goes up. He gets to Parker Robertson, who was initially called for targeting, is the one to make that tackle.
Well, maybe this is the breakout game for Jacoby Williams. Cameron Dickey had his against Kansas a few weeks back where he ran for 263. This could be the game, not just with, you know, his running ability, but his kickoff return, his all-purpose yards have been huge thus far.
Empty backfield here on 3rd and 8. Hammond hits.
He lost the ball.
Yep, he did. He lost it. Fumble recovered here by Oklahoma State. Tajay McCoy, number 40, with the recovery. That one just slipped out of the hands of Will Hammond.
Yeah, that was just such an awkward play. He gets the snap and just loses the grip of the football.
The one on the field, the fumble, recovered by the defense, first down.
To pick up the ball.
Down on the field.
He never had the laces.
No.
Didn't have the laces on the finger, so nonetheless, Oklahoma State had the football. Turnover. Down 21.
Tajay McCoy, sometimes it's right place at the right time, as Will Hammond just lost that ball and McCoy was able to recover it. Will Hammond, watch this. I mean, it just slips out of his hands. Now, we talked before about Sam Jackson having 10.5-inch hands. That's when you need those hands if you're Hammond.
He just was able to get on that football, and man, maybe if he had the laces, was able to grip those laces. And look, we had some weather early in the game, but it barely rained at all, so the football should be totally dry. Shouldn't be an issue there. But hey, listen, a turnover could be a break for the Cowboys. If they can turn this into points, hey, it could be something positive here, maybe to take to halftime.
Best starting field position so far for the Cowboys. Jackson on the run. Tried dumping it off by Lahi.
Justin, there's just not a lot of room for the football right now for Sam Jackson. You know, you watch the back end, it's just these defensive backs are just all over the wide receivers of Oklahoma State. There's no room to throw the ball. And because they're so stout up front, they only have to rush 3 or 4 guys, and so they can play coverage. And that is just such an advantage for the great defensive coordinator, Sheil Wood, who's done a great job this year.
Jackson dancing around again, looking for someone, now throws it high over the middle, and it's incomplete. It's there for Ayo Shodomite-King.
Well done, partner.
I think I just blacked out.
I thought it was one of the more impressive things you've done today, actually, to pronounce that young man's name, because I didn't want to do it. Tries to go up and just get a paw on it, unable to come down with the ball.
I just felt like Will Ferrell in Old School. What just happened?
I don't know, but it was well done. 3rd and 10 for the Cowboys here now. We got to see if they can find a way to get a first down.
Pressure coming. Dumps off to Vailahi, and Vailahi will not get the first down. He's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a yard, and so that's going to force another punt. David Bailey and A.J. Holmes Jr. combined right there to make that stop, and David Bailey, part of this defense that has been just absolutely redone, remade this year, and it's amazing with what Shieldwood has done in this defense. They have transformed Texas Tech. Nearly another block on that punt, and this one's going to roll all the way down, and it will be downed at the 1 yard line. A phenomenal punt right there by Wes Paul, and the special teams is there for the coverage.
And I believe it was Kobe Foreman who ends up knocking the ball back in, nearly goes into the end zone. But he does get the ball at the 1 yard line. Sorry, partner, go ahead.
Yeah, no reason. Well, yeah, we've got our Week 8 Monday Night Football matchup. It's the Commanders in Kansas City squaring off against a former Red Raider, Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. And oh, by the way, Peyton and Eli back on ESPN2, joined by special guest Billy Bob Thornton. Coverage kicks off with SVP and the Monday Night Countdown crew at Arrowhead, 6 Eastern. So Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech, was he any good?
Nah. Pretty incredible. Had a chance to tour some of the newer facilities here at Texas Tech yesterday. The walkthrough area, the Patrick Mahomes walkthrough area. Are you kidding me?
So nice. Speaking of nice, the carry here by Cameron Dickey, that they're backed up to their own 1 yard line, picks up 14, gets them out to the 15, gives them breathing room, and they can now go. There is Patrick Mahomes. He was a guy who was a baseball player. His dad was a professional baseball player, and then football became his choice, and I think he made the right decision.
I would say so. I think his trophy collection, his ring collection, his bank account would say so.
Pickup of just 1. Malik Charles first to make the stop. What's really cool, though, about Mahomes, you mentioned the walkthrough area, but just how much money he's given back, how much he supports Texas Tech, not just football, but the sports, the school.
He loves everything about Lubbock. He loves Texas Tech. He's a Red Raider for life, obviously. But I also think it's really awesome, his relationship with Joey McGuire. They chat almost every week, at least via text.
Hammond's forced to run with it. Hammond will be tackled at the 21, picks up 5. Mordecai McDaniel with the tackle, making his 4th straight start for Oklahoma State. All right, Joey McGuire right now looking at 3rd and 4. You're backed up at your own 21 yard line. Let's see what they do offensively here.
Maybe a free play as well.
Yep, there's the flag. The back shoulder throw is incomplete to Caleb Douglas.
Offside. Defense, number 44. 5 yard penalty. The yard results in first down.
That's Rashad Bradley, guilty of the offside. So 1st and 10 now for Texas Tech. Williams goes out in motion. And this pass is over the head of Coy Aiken to nobody.
Just a little bit too much window dressing, I think, before the football was able to get off to the right side there.
The pass was legal. Number 3 was in the area.
Tried to fake it to Jacoby Williams, and then they come back to Douglas, and that was almost like a Mahomes no-look throw, just trying to get it out as fast as possible. The pressure was there by Oklahoma State, just not enough time to do all that little trickeration.
Especially with Brian McCoy applying the pressure.
No doubt.
Aiken now goes in motion. It'll be a handoff. Nice job by Williams to plant that left foot in the ground and get downhill. Trip White with the tackle. Third and 7 now. Hammonds has that one batted down at the line. You know what? Give a lot of credit right here to Oklahoma State defensively, what they've done. You think about the first 2 plays. And now what has happened, and we do have a flag on the field.
I thought it may have been a false start. It looked like, or it could have been 12 men on the field.
You could see
there was
officials.
something choppy that at the start of the play just looked off.
Yes. The officials got huddling together around the 50-yard line.
Little substitution. Defense, 12 players on the field to snap, 5-yard penalty. Replay third down.
Let's take a peek. See if we can count them up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too many.
Well, that's part of the reason why you make the stop. It remains third down, 3rd and 2. Trying to bounce it outside is Williams, and Williams will just get that first down. So now you think about a couple of different instances for this Oklahoma State defense. They gave up a 3rd and 12, a conversion by Texas Tech. Now you would have had a 3rd and 7. You would have had 4th and 7, and instead now you got this play down the sideline, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Reggie Virgil. That had touchdown written all over it.
Coach, this was a house call. Just a drop on the outside by Reggie Virgil. And, you know, the sun is coming into the stadium from that direction. Maybe he lost it in the sun. It looks like he may have. Nonetheless, I say this all the time. You know, open touchdowns are hard to catch.
On 2nd and 10, Hammonds. His pass incomplete to Micah Hudson. With all that said, I've still been impressed by Oklahoma State's effort here on defense.
No, I totally agree. You know, for falling behind with the errors that they've had on special teams, their defense has played hard. They've got off the field now. Another 3rd and long here that they're putting Texas Tech in.
Again, Hammond running up the middle, trying to dive for that first down. He's going to be short. He's at the 45, about 1.5 yards shy. Don't be surprised if Texas Tech goes for it.
They're not punting the football here, partner.
I mean, you can tell the crowd is already sensing it.
They
like,
would
no, we're going
they
for
would
it.
be booing to the heavens if they brought the punt team on the field at 4th and 1 out near midfield. Come on.
They've got Cameron Dickey in the backfield. They have to get really to about the 47-yard line here. It's about 1.5 yards. And now we're going to have a timeout taken by the Red Raiders, their first timeout this half.
Texas Tech scored their first time out of the half.
So Texas Tech will think this over. What play do they want to run on 4th and 1, leading 21-0? after the timeout, here on 4th and 1, Mitch Griffiths is now in at quarterback with Dickey in the backfield. So Hammond is out. It's going to be Griffiths who gets wrapped up in the backfield, taken down by Wendell Gregory. Wow, he just came exploding through that line. That was a Hollywood-type play.
He was shot out of a cannon right there. Griffiths takes the snap, tucks the ball, and by the second he tucks it, 4 is in his lap. Goodness gracious. You just see his big paws coming out there, like ready to bear hug Mitch Griffiths. It's always like interesting when you bring somebody off the bench for one snap like that. You know, are they loose? Are they ready to go? I don't know. I think it's a tough spot you put the young man in, but nonetheless, great effort by the Cowboys. That's 4 TFLs today for Oklahoma State.
Now starting in field position, actually in Texas Tech territory for the first time, as that pass is complete to Freeman at the 39, gets just 3. Brendan Jordan, the guy who actually wears the green dot on defense. Usually it's a linebacker, but here it's Jordan. Now handoff up the middle.
Also kind of interesting, the tempo has picked up now for Oklahoma State. Remember they said early they would maybe slow it down. Well, they're down 3 scores. They've got great field position. Their defense has been playing, I think, excellent.
I agree with you.
For what we've seen this year. They're keeping them in the game.
I would say there have been 3 plays that have determined the score right now, being 21-0. Obviously the first kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yep.
The next play from scrimmage. And then that 3rd and 12 conversion.
No, their defense has been elite.
Now some open field for Jackson. Jackson, can he get that first down marker? He will. Sam Jackson gets 6.
Well, that's what they need Jackson to do. That's why he's in the game. You know, these 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 4s, 3rd and short. That's where you need a quarterback to be able to give you, 3 to 4 first downs per game with his legs. Especially when you just really, you struggle up front, you're struggling on the outside, your running back, your starting running back's not playing in this game. You definitely need Sam Jackson.
Handoff here as that one is taken away. Going the other way. Make it the 4th play of the game. That's a game changer. Taken to the house. It's Jacob Rodriguez. He always is able to punch the ball free. He takes it away, and he goes the distance for a touchdown.
We went on field with the ball was stripped and returned for a touchdown.
Well, that changed things rather quickly. We were just talking yesterday afternoon with Shieldwood and Joey McGuire about Rodriguez and his ability to ball search.
Yep.
And create turnovers and punch the ball out. He is like a modern day Peanut Tillman on defense. I mean, this guy has a knack for creating these turnovers, and he does such a good job. When he gets in there, he wraps up, and he's always searching for the football right there. It's just like stealing candy from a baby. It is Halloween weekend, right? Trick or treat.
Yes.
Many neighborhoods.
You see that number, 11 forced fumble. By the way, great mustache.
Fantastic mustache.
Okay, I mean,
elite mustache.
I'm jealous. I can't grow one like that. But beyond that, this guy he just takes the ball away nonstop. Returned a fumble for a touchdown against Oklahoma State last year, and he returns a fumble for a touchdown here against Oklahoma State this year. And his wife is here
Emma
in attendance.
Is, by the way, the toughest member of the Rodriguez family, we are told.
A helicopter pilot in the U.S. Army. She can't believe what just happened. And you know what? First of all, Emma, thank you for your service, for what you do for our country. And I'm so happy that you're here to be able to see that from what your husband just did. And also, we'd love to know, Emma, how do you feel about the stash? Like, does she approve of it?
I mean, I would have to say that I think he looks pretty intimidated with the mustache. I mean, it looks good on him.
Oklahoma State.
It's Capel, Royal Capel, number 11, I believe, on that return.
Emma still can't believe what's going on.
In shock.
How about this? I mean, you know, you think you're pretty good at football, right? You're a baller. And then your wife's like, hey, honey, sorry, I got to go just pilot this helicopter here for the military. If that doesn't put you in your place and humble you, I don't know what does.
That's pretty cool. And you are right, man. Thank you, Emma, for your service. She's fired up, man. How can you not be?
Going from their best starting field position to their worst starting field position. Jackson just can't find anyone. Now just throws it away. All right, so tell me this. Foxy, you played defense, you played corner. You're going up against these guys. Is it the corners that are doing such a great job defensively? Nowhere for Jackson to throw? Because he had all day back there.
Well, the problem is it starts up front. You know, when Jackson takes the snap, he immediately has pressure in his face. He's moving right to left outside the pocket, trying to find something. Like, he doesn't have time to sit back there and pat the ball. It's not pat and go back there. I mean, he's on the move. And so when that happens, it becomes scramble drill. And Texas Tech is doing such a good job, you know, manning up in the back end. There's nowhere to go.
This might be their option, and that's Trent Howland. We've seen Trent Howland a couple times just use that big, strong body to gain 7, 8, 9 yards. What he does right here.
Well, it may seem odd to say, well, they got to run the ball right now because you're down 4 scores. But partner, you can't just go 3 and out every drive, and next thing you know, it'll be 49-0. Like, they got to try to get something on the board here before halftime. It'd be a win if it could be 28-7 at half, I think.
You got to think it's going to be a run, either Howland or Jackson. And Howland, he was the guy to get the ball, and he's going to get tackled for a loss. A.J. Holmes Jr. there with the tackle. Jaden Cofield helped him out. And guess what? It's a 3 and out. Shield Wood, who went to Wofford and Spartanburg, South Carolina. He was an offensive player. Here he is now.
Great wide receiver at the FCS level.
As an elite defensive coordinator. Fair catch signaled and made at the 39-yard line by Aiken. Shield Wood wasn't necessarily the guy who went out and recruited all these guys to come to Texas Tech. A lot of work was done in the transfer portal. However, look at what he's done at all of his stops. The improvements that he's made. This Texas Tech team historically is known for offense.
I was just going to say, I mean, I played against Texas Tech way back in the day when Cliff Kingsbury was here. And it was, you know, all the air raid. It was all about offense, 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 offense. Not a lot of defense played in the Big 12. Well, I got news for you, partner. Things have changed. And they've changed in a hurry. Like, really, like, turn things around in a season here at Texas Tech.
Mitch Griffiths stays in at quarterback, and here on first down, completes it to Caleb Douglas for the first down. So wondering what just happened during that timeout on that 4th and 1 play, where they decided Hammond out, Griffiths in. Hammond had 4 straight incomplete passes, was pulled, and now here's Griffiths. As he gets chased down from behind, will get a couple of yards. Brandon Rawls able to chase him down. Griffiths was a captain at Wake Forest, and this team, they love him. They love him in the locker room.
He's one of those, like, glue guys you just love to have around. I had a chance to call one of his games at Wake Forest back in the day, and you know, he's just a likable young man, and they'd love for him to come back next season.
Uh-oh, pressure coming. And he goes down, gets sacked back at the 49. There was no one there to pick up that blitz. Landon Dean, Mordecai McDaniel combined for that sack. Loss of 4 on the play. Now 3rd and 12. Can you pick up 6 yards here and be able to go for it? That pass incomplete for Jacoby Williams, and it looks like that will force the punt. So Jake Burgess on to punt. Here with 2:27 to go, Oklahoma State will have their 3 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout. Gavin Freeman setting up at his own 6-yard line. I hope he doesn't catch it there.
I always thought the rule was the 10-yard line. Heels on the 10, and then guys end up, fair catching it at like the 5 or inside the 5. And what are we doing here?
Well, he moves up from the 6 to make the fair catch. 28-0 though. That is the score as Texas Tech leads Oklahoma State. Hammond is right there. Now, again, second straight game that we saw Will Hammond start. Baron Morton, we've been told, most likely will be back next week against Kansas State. Noah Walters is in now at quarterback for Oklahoma State. Just throwing us curveball after curveball. And now the handoff to Trent Howland. So what I want to see now is if you put Noah Walters in at quarterback, do you move Sam Jackson to a wide receiver position?
Well, I mean, he's one of your most dynamic skill players you have on the football team. Just take a look at his number, 6 foot 190. He's thrown 2 passes this year.
Well, it's a 2-minute timeout. 28-0. Texas Tech leading Oklahoma State. So you're looking inside that huddle right there, and Noah Walters, number 12, is playing quarterback. You don't see number 18, Sam Jackson, in there at either quarterback or wide receiver. It's 2nd down and 8 with 2 minutes to go.
Sam Jackson is right there on the sidelines next to the coaching staff. He's ready to go. You got to wonder, maybe this is just to try and get maybe a better arm in the game, a real quarterback that can throw the ball down the field. I don't know.
Well, that's a dump off to a tight end, Grayson Brousseau. 5-yard pickup, now 3rd and 3.
Walter is more of a true pocket passing quarterback out of Lincoln, Nebraska.
Which is ironic when you think about what is Lincoln, Nebraska known for. Option quarterbacks, of course, guys like Eric Crouch, Heisman Trophy winner, Tommy Frazier.
Man, you're going back to the 90s.
When they ran the option.
Yeah, Coach Osborne.
3rd and 3. This pass is behind the intended receiver, Terrell Davis.
And the clock will stop, and Texas Tech will get the football back with pretty good field position, 2 timeouts. 1:19 on the clock right now, and you got to think the Red Raiders are going to be looking for points here before halftime.
And they've got 2 players back to receive this punt. Tristan Gentry, number 21, and Coy Aiken.
And they've nearly blocked every punt. And they did block 1, by the way. They got the return on this one.
Wow, Wes Paul just booms this one.
Wow.
On the fly to the 21-yard line. Now it goes down to the 19. That was an impressive punt. He already had a 62-yard punt. Now he has a 58-yard punt.
Talk about flipping the field. My goodness. Whale of a job by Wes Paul.
Might want to put him on the basketball team, too. 6'5", 205. 1:08 to go, 2 timeouts remaining. And it is Mitch Griffiths in there at quarterback. Came into this game 4 for 5 on the season in attempts, 1 for 2 so far here today. Griffiths rolling out to the right. Flag is thrown. The pass across the middle is caught by Caleb Douglas. But where that flag is, it's usually holding. There is 1 minute to go in the half. And Foxy, that was the first flag thrown against Texas Tech.
Well, it's been a relatively clean game overall, but for Tech just to have that 1 penalty right here with a minute to go. Talk about discipline. They've done a really nice job thus far this afternoon.
The clock will start on my signal. Oklahoma State's option.
Under a minute to play here in the first half. Dickey takes the handoff. He'll take it up to the 15, picks up 5.
Now, will Oklahoma State consider using their timeouts here, depending on how aggressive Tech is on this play?
There's a pass play. Griffiths steps up. He's going to get sacked.
Cowboys should call timeout, I think.
You say call timeout.
Or maybe they're just happy to get out of Dodge here without any more blood before the first half.
Because Texas Tech does not have to run any more plays in this half, and that's what they will do. They will head into the locker room, leading 28-0. Pitching a shutout here at home at the Jones. After a loss last week at Arizona State, Joey McGuire's team came out firing. It all started with a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Jacoby Williams. And from there, Texas Tech leads 28-0. turnovers. It's all Red Raiders here in the first half.
to strike a pose and strike a chord with music from Madonna.
watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. Back here in Lubbock, Texas at the Jones AT&T Stadium, where the Texas Tech Red Raiders are leading 28-0 as we get set to start the third quarter. And we get to say hello once again up here in the broadcast booth. Justin Kutcher alongside Dustin Fox, the Justin and Dustin Show, or Dustin and Justin, whichever you want.
One. Yeah, Austin Show, how about that?
It works. But we just had breaking news.
Yes.
We saw in that late first half for Texas Tech that Mitch Griffiths was in at quarterback, Will Hammond was out. Here's the reason why Will Hammond was out of the game in that second quarter. Watch him at the end of this play trying to make that scramble. See that right ankle, that right foot roll over? So he is out during halftime. Baron Morton went from street clothes into his uniform, and he is now, I don't know if he's going to be the backup or if he's going to start.
Either way, we knew coming into the game he would be available as an emergency quarterback,
Oklahoma
right?
State's number 16 is now wearing number 47.
Here we are. However, they have a 4-touchdown lead. So with that in mind, I think it'll be interesting to see how they use him here. Is it just going to be for an emergency? Like if they don't have Griffiths available, would he go in the game? Nonetheless, he's in uniform, which certainly is encouraging for Texas Tech fans that he's at least going to be available for next week, you would assume.
Yes.
But they're probably hoping he doesn't have to come in this game.
And that will be a touchback.
Touchback on the kickoff.
So here comes Oklahoma State, and we'll have to see who's in at quarterback for Oklahoma State, because we saw Sam Jackson, the fifth, started the game at quarterback. Then we had Noah Walters come in that second quarter, and let's see who we have.
Make some noise and welcome back to the field, your Red Raider.
It looks like it is going to be Sam Jackson back in at quarterback. Man, lots going on here in Lubbock, Texas.
Oh, we've seen 4 quarterbacks between both of these teams already in this ball game. Maybe Graham Harrell can suit up. Does he have any eligibility left?
You know what? He's kept himself in shape like you've kept yourself in shape, so I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, he looks great.
Trent Rowlands on the carry, picks up 2. Speaking of Graham Harrell, he was just honored at halftime as he was inducted into the Ring of Honor here at Texas Tech, the 12th member of the Ring of Honor, and rumor has it he might be joining us here in the booth soon. Jackson on second down again with that pressure coming. It's incomplete for Quentin Stewart, the tight end. All right, 3rd and 8 right here. Foxy, this is not what you want to face a 3rd and 8 and have a potential 3 and out to open up this second half.
You know, I wish I had some answers for this Oklahoma State offense in terms of getting something going on offense, but it's just such a challenge. I mean, the Red Raiders on defense are just pinning their ears back every snap.
Here comes the pressure, and the pass is to Howland. Howland able to get the first down. It was David Bailey coming off the edge trying to apply the pressure. The FBS leader in sacks, and it's an 11-yard pickup instead for Trent Howland.
Well, I just sort of said it there right before the snap. They're pinning their ears back. That is Texas Tech, and it was a great play design and a great call, the screen pass, to sort of eliminate that rush that they have. And they've been getting home so frequently. It's been pretty easy. 3 or 4 men rushing the passer. You know, they drop 8 into coverage at times, and they just have done a really nice job playing everything top down and allowing nobody in the back end to run open, essentially. And so it's been tough duty for the Cowboys on offense.
Dangerous pass right there, and that could have been offensive pass interference as Dante Balfour was trying to jump that, and he got, it looked like, picked by one of the receivers for Oklahoma State.
It was not the prettiest snap. I mean, there's no doubt it could have been absolutely a disastrous play for this Cowboys offense. His ball four was in there before the pass even arrived. He nearly could have intercepted the pass and walked into the end zone.
That could have been a huge day for the number 20 for Texas Tech, because that's ball four at number 20 on defense.
Yeah, the double
and
numbers.
Jacoby Williams 20 on offense. Pressure coming again. Again, it's a little dump off pass. And this is not going to go very far as it's to the 45-yard line. Picks up 3 with 4th down coming up. And you're at the 45. You've got 4 yards to go. The offense hasn't been able to do much, and that will bring on the punt unit once again. Wes Paul, he's been the star of the game for this Oklahoma State team. I mean, he's had a 62-yard punt, a 58-yard punt. We'll have to see what he does here. Coy Aiken is back at his own 20. He's got to take something off that one right there. He does. That was like a 3/4 wedge.
I was waiting for a golf reference with Mr. Golf here.
I mean, you know, we're in Texas. You've got a lot of guys. Ludwig Obert played here at Texas Tech. Scotty Scheffler at Texas. I mean, there's just, it's what you got to do. Coy Aiken, though, right now, he is walking off gingerly after he got run into a little bit after making the fair catch. We talked coming out of this break about who would be in at quarterback. It is Mitch Griffiths. And like you said, leading 28-0, the goal is that Morton does not see the field.
Bingo.
On 1st down, it's Jacoby Williams. And really, with his 28-0 lead, you can try to run the ball, take time off the clock, shorten the game, and again, guarantee that you don't have to bring in Morton. Morton's there in case of emergency.
Correct. I mean, they should not have to bring Morton in this ball game with the 28-0 lead. You know, as well as they're playing defensively. They're holding Oklahoma State to about 2.7 yards per play. I just can't see the Cowboys scoring
Defense
more than a touchdown or 2.
Decline.
Tops.
Result of play is a 1st down.
All right, so we just had another offside call here against Oklahoma State. The play, it was declined because the play went for a 1st down to Kelby Valson. From the 30. High pass incomplete for Caleb Douglas. That was Mitch Griffiths, kind of like not getting all the way around, dropping its sidearm.
Just didn't quite have the feet set. Not the prettiest of passes. And, you know, you kind of said it. I would imagine that Texas Tech will just want to take the air out of this thing and run it as much as they can. Here's Griffiths.
Oh, takes a hit, keeps on going. Griffiths met Parker Robertson. And then he said, nice hit, but I'm going to keep on running. Meanwhile, you've got Joey McGuire on the sideline being like, dude, I don't want to bring in Barron right now, okay? Don't take that hit.
Maybe he says, hey, Mac Leftwich, let's not do any more design quarterback runs here the rest of this ball game.
On 3rd and 7, on the slant, wide open as Douglas has the 1st down. Nice spin move, takes it out to midfield. A 17-yard completion on 3rd down.
That looks more like how the offense has looked all season with Barron Morton at quarterback. I mean, this is a really wide open pass, but Douglas on 3rd and 7 picks up a huge gain.
Again to Douglas, and he'll get a couple yards. That's a play right there that Patrick Mahomes kind of made famous as, you know, that middle infielder, get it and just turn and throw.
I would know nothing about any of that. Never was a baseball guy. I was always
for as great of an athlete as you are.
I appreciate you saying that, partner, but I was never really played baseball, and I always had an admiration for guys who could do it and do it at such a high level.
Lofted ball. Caught once again by Douglas. No, it comes free. Let's see. They say he caught it. and he was down. The ground forced it. So they're going to say that's a completed pass. That's what right now they're saying it looks like.
Boy, it sure seemed like this was a fumble. We'll have to take a look. Did the ground cause it, or was it the hit? I mean, because he's got possession there.
Knee down.
Yeah, he's down.
Yep.
He's down.
And now we're going to, obviously, this is the right thing. They're going to review it. Gerald Austin, the replay official, wants to take a second look.
The previous play is under further review.
If anything,
on field was a catch,
I can't see it
and
being
if the
a
runner was
fumble.
down.
It could be maybe an incomplete pass.
Right. Oh. Wow. The previous angle looked like it was a catch. The knee was down, but watch where that ball starts coming free. Where's the knee? I'm going to say this one's going to be overturned. The other angle, I think you see the ball come jarred loose beforehand. The question is going to be, does he complete the catch? And I'm going to make you take a stand right now.
I don't want to.
That's the whole point.
I don't want to.
What are you?
I'm riding the fence.
No,
Yes.
you're not allowed. You couldn't play baseball growing up, so you got to take a stand here.
I would say incomplete.
Yeah, me too.
I would say incomplete. To me, it's not. There's no way it's a fumble.
No, absolutely not. It's a catch or no catch. That's, I think, the only thing we're talking about. David Alvarez on headset. If it stands, it was a 34-yard completion. And it seems like Caleb Douglas is the favorite target of Mitch Griffis so far.
Yesterday, Mac Leftwich and Joey McGuire said that Caleb Douglas is sort of the go-to guy, and they need to get the ball to him. If there's a big moment in the game, whether it's a fourth down or red zone, like he's sort of the go-to guy. I think you're right about that. Maybe Mitch Griffis' favorite target thus far.
Here's one of my pet peeves about replays and reviews.
How long it takes?
If it takes more than 30 seconds,
go with what was on the
field. Yeah. It has to be conclusive evidence to overturn.
They're coming back.
Yep. So really what you then have to figure out is, well, the clock. How much time should be on the clock?
After further review, the receiver did not complete the process of the catch, and it's an incomplete pass. It will be third down at the previous spot.
Way to take a side. Way to take a stand.
Man, I've just been wrong so many times that I'm just tired of embarrassing myself on national TV.
Don't be afraid of failure.
I'm sorry, partner. I don't let you down.
You did not let me down there.
All right, here we go. Big third down, though, for this Cowboys defense.
You're on 3rd and long. We may have a free play. We do, taking the shot down the sideline, jump ball. This ball is intercepted. It's not going to matter, though. It's picked off by LaDainian Fields, and Fields racing down the sideline. It was a great effort, a nice run, but it's a free play, and it's going to stay Texas Tech ball. By the way, LaDainian Fields, the brother of Rodney Fields, who went off last week as the running back, but not available this week.
And a really impressive athletic play. I mean, to tip the pass in the air, to catch it off of the deflection, and then turns into an offensive player. I mean, it's a great effort. It's not going to stand.
Offside. Defense number 14. 5-yard penalty. Replay goes down.
Landon Cleveland, the guilty party for that offside, so that negates that interception and return. And it also means that LaDainian Fields is like, whew, I need a breather. I am exhausted. He's still acting like he's celebrating.
Hey, listen, he still made a really great play. It doesn't go in the stats as an interception, but hey, listen, when he puts his head on the pillow tonight, he knows he made a baller play.
Okay, all right. 3rd and 2 now. Nearly drew him off again.
How hard is it to watch the football? Sorry, pet peeve.
Again, taking the shot down the sideline. Touchdown, Caleb Douglas. 42 yards. He could not complete the catch previously. Works out better. He completes this for a touchdown. 2nd of the season for Caleb Douglas.
Same target, opposite side of the field, better result. What a beautiful pass, though, by Mitch. I mean, that was touch, dropped it right in stride with Caleb Douglas, as he was able to just run underneath the football and takes this to the house to extend the lead. 35-zip from Lubbock.
Well, during halftime, a legend here at Texas Tech, Graham Harrell, was inducted into the Ring of Honor, the 12th member to be inducted into the Texas Tech Ring of Honor. Also this year, named to the National Football Foundation College Football Hall of Fame. There was the number 6 being unveiled as we now are joined in the booth. I told you there was a rumor that Graham Harrell might join us. I don't like to spread rumors, so we have to back up our word, and here he is College Football Hall of Famer, and now Ring of Honor member. Congratulations, Graham. Thanks so much for joining us here.
I sure appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
Congratulations on both awards. Just want to know, what is it like when they drop the curtain and there's your number and name?
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. And you know, I don't know if it ever sinks in. Like, man, I'm up there on the wall with all these legends. But man, that was a cool moment, and it was awesome that most of the family got to be here for it. And it's a moment I'm sure, obviously, my son, he's probably going to enjoy it more than any of us, you know. And so it was cool to do, and it was cool, like I said, that everyone was able to be here for it.
They read off like every stat in like the history of the Big 12 and the school that you own. I mean, is there a record you don't own? My goodness, man.
I'm not sure, you know. I obviously had the benefit of playing for Coach Leach,
right.
and in order to set records, you got to be willing to throw it. And Coach Leach obviously was willing to throw it, and so he deserves a big part, a giant piece of the credit for what I did. But man, those were fun years. It was a great time to play in the Big 12. The Big 12 was an awesome league at the time.
Yeah.
And man, we just had a fun team and the right group of guys that were able to have a special season right there at the end. So man, it was a good time.
I think it's really cool that today, as it looks like we've got a fumble.
Texas Tech looks like they got it.
Yes. Another takeaway. And the Red Raiders are balling out here today, but you are honored on this day, and you mentioned Coach Leach. He was honored by the Bear Bryant Foundation for the Heart of the Champion Award, and the fact that both you guys on the same day get honored, you have to tell me. I got a chance to call some games with Coach Leach. I got a chance to talk with him. What was it like to play for him?
There's never a dull moment playing for him. And to be honest with you, I don't know how we ever won football games because, you know, we go to meetings, we never talk about football, we never watch tape. You're talking about Pirates, or you're talking about, like, because, you know, he had a law degree.
Yeah.
Right.
So he'd be telling you about this, there's this murder case going on up in the Northeast, and he'd have his secretary print you off like 30 pages of, like, information. And I'm like, Coach, I'm not going to read this, and I really don't need to read it because you've told me everything that's in it. And then it'd be like, okay, y'all ready for practice? It's
amazing.
You know, and so that was every day. But, you know, the thing that I think the reason we were as successful as we were was because, one, he had something he believed in, and we got really, really good at it. And then you were never uptight. You know what I mean? And like I said, you're rarely talking about football. And so you never felt nervous. You were never uptight. And because of that, we were able to go play loose and have fun.
Well, now a fumble by Texas Tech and Oklahoma State has recovered, so we're just exchanging things right here. You have to take me back, though, to that 2008 season.
Yeah, I remember exactly where I was at, what couch I was on in my house. I remember watching the game, you know, in the Crabtree play. I mean, it's just an amazing, amazing night. I'm sure it's something you never are going to forget. My goodness.
Yeah, they you know, it was a little cleaner football than we're watching right here, obviously. But no, it was that was a fun game, and you know, that's the crazy thing is everywhere I go, people still remember, like, this is where I was. And I was actually signing autographs at like a thing here in town today, and a guy said, I spilled a Coke and I won't clean up the stain. I still have the stain on my carpet. You know, like, it's just crazy how much, especially for Tech fans, like how great of a moment that was for them. And it's kind of neat that everywhere you still go, people still want to talk about it. And we had a lot of fun games and a lot of good memories, and that was kind of like the culmination of, I think, a 10-year run that Mike Leach had here at Texas Tech, and that's what will always be remembered. And so it's cool to be a part of that. And I was talking to someone yesterday as well. I said, man, the best part is we were on the right side of that, because I'm sure there's plenty of guys that were playing at Texas or that missed the tackle to Crabtree. They're like, well, they ain't going to stop showing that super play, you know? Like, but for us, it'll always be a great memory, and fortunately, like, good into that. And, man, it was, like I said, those are just special years, and it was great people, from Coach Leach to the guys I played with, and it's a huge honor to go into the Ring of Honor. But really, I think that's a representation of just a lot of people that had a big part, that had played a big role in that throughout the years of my playing time. And luckily for me, myself, and Crabtree, we kind of get to represent that crew. But there's a lot of guys behind it, you know. I
was just gonna say, I mean, you think about, you're the 12th member here in the Ring of Honor. 2 of those guys are from that class, you and Crabtree. So what does it mean now to join, you know, him in that Ring of Honor? Has he reached out to you?
Oh yeah.
What do you say?
Crab's the best, you know, and he's a special breed. But he, you know, and Crab's the type of dude, he'll text you something, then he'll respond, then you get no response. And I'm like, oh, you were the one that texted me, Crab. But no, you know, he just said congrats, and he always, every time he talks to me, he's always, his message is always, you'll always be my quarterback. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, I appreciate that. But he's a great guy. And like I said, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for a whole lot of guys that were part of those teams, but especially Crabtree. Like, when you had a security blanket like him, it made playing quarterback a whole lot easier. And he got me out of a lot of trouble because I could throw a ball and sometimes throw a bad ball, and he usually make it right. So I couldn't be more appreciative for him and all those guys. That was just a fun group of guys.
I was a little before you. I played at Ohio State against Cliff Kingsbury, another great quarterback here at Texas Tech. I want to know what it's like to be part of this lineage, to be one of the great quarterbacks, maybe the greatest quarterback to ever play at Texas Tech.
Yeah, that's a.
And there's a good one. You know, where's number 15?
Yeah,
in the
there's
NFL
a pretty
too,
good one out there. So to say I'm I had an unbelievable college career, and I can't deny that. And I, like I said, there's a lot of people that have a huge part to do with that. But to be a part of this place, and like you said, like from Cliff and even before those guys, there's been a ton of great quarterbacks, and to be mentioned with some of those guys, man, it's a true honor. So, you know, it's humbling, and I'm super appreciative.
There's no foul for leaping.
Graham, I know you get inducted into this Ring of Honor. You're going to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame this year. Just having you up here, you feel like a Hall of Fame type of guy. Appreciate you being here, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah, great to be here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
35-0. Red Raiders on top.
If you're a college football fan.
That is a great matchup coming up in the SEC. We are here in the Big 12. After a couple of turnovers, back and forth we go. Texas Tech has the ball at their own 20-yard line. And again, special thanks to Graham Harrell for joining us up here in the booth on a special day for him. A special night for he and his family. What a great guy.
Well, you said it. I mean, Hall of Fame player, Hall of Fame guy.
Yeah.
I mean, what a great guy. Talked to him a little off the air, too. I mean, just a phenomenal human being. And what a great moment, too, to have his son here, to see the unveiling of the name on the Ring of Honor. It's just so special.
Yeah, just really, really cool. And again, how it all tied together with his coach, Mike Leach, being honored as well, and what he just said. I mean, if we had more time, I was going to wait and ask, what's the best Mike Leach story?
Well, there's probably like 500 Mike Leach stories that he could tell, you know, goodness gracious. That doesn't surprise me, though. He's printing off, like, court cases. These, like, cold cases. I mean, that's just amazing.
I can tell you, having done I was lucky enough to call probably 3 or 4 games with Mike Leach on the sideline and just talking to him, and all of a sudden we mentioned the Pirate. There were no other questions asked regarding football. He would just talk about Pirates for 45 minutes.
I was going to ask Graham, you know, because the legendary interview Alyssa Lang did with him about the Halloween candy.
Okay.
Well, there's a million of them, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Halloween candy stands out to me because I love Halloween. I was going to say, what's your favorite? You know, it's trick or treat tomorrow, but nonetheless.
Another nice pass and catch to Caleb Douglas for the first down. 23-yard completion for Mitch Griffiths to Douglas. Griffiths replaced Will Hammond, who left the game with that rolled ankle. .552 to go here in the third. And that ball complete to Jacoby Williams. Makes the guy miss down the sideline. And he will be caught and tackled inside the 20. He really is explosive. Mordecai McDaniel finally catches him, but not before he gets 37 yards.
Yeah, when the coaches said to us yesterday, I mean, this guy, one word to describe him, electric. So electric, elusive, fast, can break tackles. They just need to find a way to get the ball in his hands more often. And maybe today is that day. You know, you've got kind of the meat of the Big 12 schedule still remaining, including that big matchup against BYU right here November 8th. That one is certainly circled by Red Raider fans.
Handoff to Dickey. Cameron Dickey avoids one tackle, lowers the shoulder, and Cameron Dickey is going to be marked down at the 4. Tajay McCoy and Raymond Gay the second. Credit for the tackle. First and goal coming up. 1 for 2 today in the red zone. 1 touchdown, 1 fumble. Handoff. Dickey looking for his second of the game, and he's going to be tackled at the 1.
Cameron Dickey, the ball carrier.
Tajay McCoy saves a touchdown right there.
Brings up second down, goal to go.
Second and goal from the 1. Dickey patiently, but this time he gets stuffed again.
Actually, looks like he may have lost a little on that run. Maybe a loss of a yard. Yeah, they call it 1.
Gay and Cam Smith
pushing and shoving after the play. Yeah.
And wow, how about that? Griffiths was trying to get his offensive line to say, hey, back away. And Jacob Ponton just actually shoved his own quarterback.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. Usually it's the offensive lineman shoving everybody away from their quarterback. Now 3rd and goal to try to run behind the big Howard Sampson. Instead, quarterback keeper, and it's Griffiths to the touchdown. With 3:17 to go here in this 3rd quarter, it's a 41-0 Texas Tech lead.
That was never going to be a pass. I don't think. I mean, the fake was great, and it does just enough to allow the separation in the lane to run in for the easy touchdown for Mitch Griffiths. His first touchdown run this season.
Harrington on for the extra point. And it's good. The average margin of victory this year for Texas Tech, 29.7. They lead right now 42-0. Well, the next stop on the F1 schedule is the Mexico City Grand Prix tomorrow afternoon at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on ABC and the all-new ESPN app. Our pre-race coverage begins at 2:30 Eastern with ESPN Deportes coverage starting at 3. Gavin Freeman is back deep as Harrington will kick off. And there is no chance for a return here. As we take a look at today's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate. And this was something you don't hear very often, but defensively, watch Jacob Rodriguez and what he does on this play.
Just watch number 10. Just steals the football. I mean, talk about like ball searching. This young man has had himself a whale of a day, by the way. Not only does he have that forced fumble in that touchdown, he also has a TFL. And he also, by the way, has 10 tackles on the day. I don't know, man. Looks like a foxhole guy to me.
And as this one is broken up, beautiful play defensively coming over by Peyton Morgan to break that one up. But Rodriguez doing this with his wife, who's a U.S. Army helicopter pilot in attendance. But watch this effort.
I mean, that was like just a blind dive. Like, you know, okay, I've got no chance other than to just extend my arm and leap as far as I can. And goodness gracious, Morgan makes a heck of a play.
Noah Walters now 1 for 4, 5 yards in the air.
I just can't get over Rodriguez's mustache, too. I mean, that thing is just so good.
Freeman, this guy can run. Gavin Freeman, a transfer from Oklahoma, tackled by Marion Horn. Yeah, that mustache is
It's
elite.
Tom Selleck-esque.
I was going to say it's Johnson Wagner-esque.
Okay, you want to one-up me?
No, I've compared Johnson Wagner's stash to Tom Selleck. That's why he got married, you know.
I mean, it's Thurman Munson-esque.
Don Mattingly comes to mind. The handoff. This marked down at the 40. We're approaching 2 minutes here in the third quarter. It's weird how things kind of work out sometimes, but the injury to Hammond opened the door for Griffiths. Griffiths has come in and they've been moving the ball much more effectively and efficiently offensively. Nowhere here for Walters to go. Braylon Rigsby with a stop. But also, look, I know nobody watching, no Texas Tech Red Raider fan wanted to see the team lose last week. But sometimes it's good to be humbled and to come back with this response. And again, you mentioned that upcoming schedule that they have, where they're at K-State next week, then against BYU, UCF, a bye, and then finishing up at West Virginia. Can they run the table? Can they get themselves in that Big 12 championship game? Nice pass again to Freeman. Freeman's got the first down across midfield to the 46-yard line. It's a 13-yard completion. Walters, he looks good throwing the ball.
He does, and I think Gavin Freeman is giving them something here on the outside from the wide receiver position. Take another shot deep.
Walters, and this one is incomplete. Marion Horn guarding against Shamar Rigby. And that was one of those close ones where if he made any contact, that would have been pass interference. He never turned to see the ball.
I was looking for a flag. As a former corner, you always look for a flag.
Trust me. You have whiplash? Trust me. Some scar tissue in there.
Never start to celebrate until you make sure that there are no flags in the vicinity.
Swinging it out. That was Caleb Hicks. The pass was actually a lateral, so they're going to say it's a carry, a run of 1 yard. They do have to run a play, as there is a 1 second difference between the play clock and the game clock. 3rd and 9. There's Jaden Cofield waiting. Pressure. Walters elusive. Dives forward, and he's going to be short. He's going to be at the 40. And they're going to have a decision to make. I don't think there's a decision. I imagine they're going for it, as A.J. McCarty made the stop. It's the end of the 3rd quarter, so they can think about it during the commercial break. But the Red Raiders, after a loss last week, have responded in a big way, leading big over Oklahoma State, 42-0. It has been all Red Raiders here today. The 14th ranked Red Raiders leading 42-0 as we head to the 4th quarter. Justin Kutcher alongside Dustin Fox. And now here on 4th down, Oklahoma State going for it, obviously trailing by 42. They have to. 4th and 3. Oh, nice fake pitch. But Walters is going to be tackled short of the first down marker. It's Bryce Ramirez who makes the step, one of those linebackers.
It was such a good fake. Right right as he goes to fake the pitch, I'm like, goodness, he's got a huge lane. It closed in a hurry by that Texas Tech defense, suffocating defense. And by the way, now they're playing with a lot of their backups in the game. It doesn't matter. They're still getting after it and getting off the field. A huge stop by the Red Raiders defense.
Texas Tech's 49 is now wearing number 65.
And just such a great job of what we've seen from Shieldwood in his defense, pitching a shutout here. On first down the sideline, and that ball is going to be, it looks like they're going to converge, and let's see.
He caught it.
He caught it. Micah Hudson with the catch, somehow able to stay inbounds for a 24-yard pickup. Let me see this again, please. And he may have gotten away with a push-off.
He did get away with a little push-off there on the corner, number 13, Eric Fletcher.
And they run this play before anything can happen. Adam Hill in at tailback for the first time today. Again, you mentioned on defense, some of the backups playing now here on offense. Some of the guys getting a chance. I really wonder if offensively Joe McGuire is saying to Mac Leftwich, hey, just run the ball. No, we're up 42-0. Don't want to have to worry about bringing Barron in.
If you look at the radar, you keep the clock moving because there is some
a helmet comes off.
weather in the area.
And there is the sack. Aiden Kelly with the sack.
It's funny. I mean, the skies look dark on one side of the stadium, and then the sun's peeking out of the other side of the stadium. As 13 minutes and change to go.
Would you describe it as spooky?
I would say it's a great way to describe it on this Halloween weekend. I call this Halloween weekend because next weekend it's on Friday, and then Saturday's November, which is, you know, Michael Myers' least favorite day of the year.
Although,
November
as
1st.
a kid, you cannot ask for anything more than having Halloween on a Friday. So you can go trick-or-treating after school, stay out as late as you want because you don't have to wake up the next morning.
Did you guys growing up have your trick-or-treat always on Halloween?
Always.
On actually
always.
Halloween day?
Halloween, yes,
Okay.
always.
Because now,
I know.
like we have it tomorrow in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
At least in the evening, you know. We could go all full Mike Leach and have a Halloween candy conversation if you'd like.
A friend of mine, Victoria Carson, growing up, she's like, no, you have to have it. You have to have it on Halloween. There's a fair catch is
You've always
made.
said that about Victoria.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, and I can't argue. 42-0. Red Raiders leading. Tomorrow morning, we'll have the first Clásico of La Liga season on ESPN2 and the all-new ESPN app. Real Madrid hosts Barcelona as Madrid sits atop the table with 24 points. Barcelona second with 22. Coverage begins at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific with an 11:15 kick. Oklahoma State starting at their own 9-yard line. Dangerous pass, and that was almost a pick six in the hands of Charles Esters. He had it. You don't get better opportunities as a defensive end for a pick six touchdown.
Gosh, he was in the end zone. He had a foot in the end zone. Just catch the ball. Oh my goodness. He will have nightmares over that one. Another Halloween reference for you. I have one of those that lives in my memory bank.
Trent Howland with a run for the first down. Tell me about it.
2003, we're playing NC State in the Horseshoe in Columbus. Phillip Rivers is the quarterback for the Wolfpack. Ball snapped over his head. I'm blitzing off the edge as a corner blitz. The ball is right there. I go to pick it up. I mean, I'm going to walk in the end zone. I kicked the ball.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Way to kick it, Pele.
It was going to be my only college touchdown, and no. So, yeah, little nightmares about that one.
How often, and in all honesty, do you think about it?
Well, this is the first time I've thought about it in probably a year.
Okay. Good effort by Terrell Davis along the sidelines. You know, again, we talked about this.
How did I not get that?
You had some good interceptions.
I had 7.
But
I picked off Cliff Kingsbury
there
once.
you go.
2002. That's a throwback.
How'd you do that?
Ask Brad Nessler.
I just think right now about this Texas Tech defense. Pitching a shutout here, 42-0. And what they did in the transfer portal, you know, the portal is one thing, but you have to make sure you hit in the portal. When you're going out and you're spending money on these guys, you got to hit. They've hit in a big way.
And not only that, you have to find the right guys that are going to be, you know, fit with your culture. As that's complete for a first down for the Cowboys. But, you know, you think about some of the guys that they've, you know, gotten in the portal. David Bailey, Melo Heights, a good example. I mean, this guy's got a degree from Georgia Tech, right? So you know this guy's coming here. He's already got that degree, like high character guys. That's, to me, that was the theme. And that is a heck of a play right there.
Just thrown to the ground by Anselm Nador.
Yeah, they have a wealth of riches, even their depth here on the defense as you take a look at these top 50 transfers here.
And what it says, you know, you think about what Texas Tech is doing on the football field. Right now, they're ranked 14th in the country, and I'm not a huge fan of football rankings before Halloween, especially in today's era where you have the transfer portal and people are leaving all the time and coming. You don't know who's going to do what. But with the NIL, Texas Tech has done an amazing job. When you look at earlier today, they were honoring the Elite Eight men's basketball team from last year. The women's tennis team won the Big 12 championship. You have the golf team who had Ludwig Oberg, who is the #1 player in all of golf. And then, oh, by the way, the softball team went to the national championship last year, lost in the championship game of the Women's College World Series. And Najee Kennedy, I mean, she was paid $1 million, and she made a huge difference. So again, you're picking out the right people, you're hitting on it, and you're transforming the university.
No doubt. It's not just the football program, as you said. I mean, it's not just the basketball program.
Right.
I mean, all of the other sports, especially, I mean, the softball, the ladies tennis program, Big 12 champs a season ago. Looking for big things in 2025.
Nice return here by Tristan Gentry. Texas Tech looking for big things, looking to move to 7-1 here on the season as they lead 42-0. Pre-NIL, I don't know if you'd ever see someone go from Stanford to Texas Tech. Well, now you've got two. You've got David Bailey, and then, as you mentioned, Najee Kennedy going from Stanford to Tech and making a huge impact. And it's not just in these sports, but all across the board. And Foxy, you had the chance to actually play with some Big 12 champions.
Well, you got to hit around a little bit with some of the members of the Texas Tech ladies tennis team, and they're phenomenal. Big 12 champs a season ago, looking for bigger things in the 2026 season. They are awesome and great people, and it was really cool to spend a little time with the tennis program here in Lubbock, Texas.
Rumor has it that you need ice now after how hard.
I need ice. I need a meal. I need ibuprofen.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord. Maria kicked my butt this morning.
Oliver Miles, the third in at running back, number 28. His pass, diving effort, incomplete, but a flag comes in. Micah Hudson, the intended receiver, Landon Cleveland there on the coverage, and let's see what we got.
Pass interference, defense number 22, automatic first down to spot the foul.
I beg your pardon, that was Kobe Foreman on the coverage. Just about 9 minutes to go here in this fourth. Miles takes the handoff. And right now, the objective for Texas Tech is just to keep that clock rolling.
Favorite Halloween candy?
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
No thought there. I was just like, bam. Off the cuff.
I mean, I'm like Vince Vaughn. I love peanut butter. Like, I put it in my hair sometimes. I mean, it's just so good.
Yeah, the chocolate's good. I'm just more of like a,
You're like a sour person, aren't you?
Yeah, or these like Haribo gummy bears or Starburst, Sour Patch Kids.
Down the sideline again, another pass interference as Micah Hudson was the intended receiver again.
Pass interference. Defense number 22. 15-yard penalty and an automatic. First down.
Bobby Foreman once again gets called for the pass interference. Yeah, I would say favorite Halloween candy in order. Ooh. Well, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
This is the Justin Kutcher top
Yeah.
5.
Oh, okay, top 5 in no particular order. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, Kit Kat, Snickers, M&M Peanuts.
Number 4.
M&M Peanuts.
Okay.
And
Number 5.
I don't even care after that. Just give me those 4 and I'm good.
We got some, the peanut gallery here is saying the Reese's pumpkin.
Stop it.
Oh,
Stop it. Stop it. Don't.
These are your guys. I mean, come on.
Alan Thrifley, shame on you. It's the original. Now Ken Trevor saying 3 Musketeers. What's next? The Milky Way?
I did try the Oreo Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
And?
Shockingly delightful.
Okay, I'm going to throw one out there. It's not a Halloween candy, but I highly recommend it. Staying in the Reese's theme, I believe it's a Reese's Animal Cracker that they sell at Costco. It is stupid good.
Okay. Put that on the list. Honey, get the shopping list out this weekend. If you're listening at home.
3rd and 6 coming up here for the Red Raiders. Adam Hill in the backfields, just draining this play clock. They keep it on the ground. And he's going to spin around and maybe pick up a yard.
Adam Hill, ball carrier.
This is kind of a microcosm of the season for Oklahoma State, where they're 1-6, they're down big, and you're trying to just still fight. As Stone Harrington is going to come on to attempt a 45-yard field goal attempt. That kick is no good. No good here by Harrington from 45. 5:51 to go here in the 4th. Red Raiders looking like they're going to 7-1. 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the University Athletic Scholarship Fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to Allstate. Back here in Lubbock, Texas, look at this. The Red Raiders looking for their first shutout against a Big 12 opponent since October 29th of 2005 against Baylor. Well, Capel on that carry. That's kind of what you're looking at right now, right? Like, all right, what do you play for? What's the motivation here for Texas Tech? I got to think it's, hey, shutout.
Oh, I mean, listen, every player on this field right now, whether they're, on Texas Tech or Oklahoma State, trying to put something on tape. Because if you're at Oklahoma State, there's going to be coaching change at the end of this season. Know that. And if you're on Texas Tech and you're in the game right now, you're not a starter, most likely. So you're trying to either prove to this staff that you deserve more playing time or what have you. And then also, we live in a day and age where it's like 24/7 free agency. So if you're not playing hard in the fourth quarter of a game like this, but you're in the game, I mean, everybody takes notice. I mean, there's a lot of people out there watching the game still and will look at tape. So I've just been impressed really with how, frankly, both defenses have played today. And yet the score's a little misleading because there was like basically three touchdowns that came from non-offensive scores by Texas Tech.
Here on the keeper is Walters. Ball's out. And they're going to say he was down.
Man. How about you? But Mafia at 6'4", 325 gets that ball in his hands. And I don't think they're going to tackle that big fella.
You can see Walters just trying to work out something.
Yeah, just looks a little ginger,
off. Tristan Gentry back now to receive this punt. From the 13, and he'll go to the 14. Good special teams coverage right there. Time now for the 18T. Keeps us connected with today's best moment. This one's not hard to pick. The opening kickoff. Ridiculous. Jacoby Williams, 99 yards. It's a reason, Foxy, why the NFL has made a change to their kickoff, the dynamic kickoff, because that may be the most exciting play in football.
It is, and you want to see more of those plays and guys to, bring those out. And it was a game-changing play. I mean, literally 10 seconds in the ball game, it felt like the momentum was all Texas Tech. I'm not saying that was why they won the game, but it felt like the game was won right there, like in an instant, 10 seconds in. And boy, Jacoby Williams has had himself a monster game, not just with that kickoff return, but he was dynamic in the pass game, also on the ground. Just an elusive, electric player that I think Red Raider fans are going to be excited to watch because just a sophomore.
Holden Phillips is now the third quarterback in for Texas Tech on the day. He's going to keep this one. Again, we saw that Baron Morton suited up, was stretching, but the goal for Joey McGuire was that he would not see the field today. And now Holden Phillips from right here in Lubbock, Texas, getting a chance to take the field, which has to be such a huge thrill.
Oh, no doubt. And with 3rd and 5 here, they're going to let him put it in the air, I think. Try to get this snap off before the 2-minute warning.
Looks like he audibles Nico. And he puts it in the air, puts it on target for the first down to Micah Hudson.
Check to that hot route on the outside.
Hot route.
The old Nico 9 route.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout here in the fourth quarter.
Well,
Foxy.
only fitting for the Foxhole. We need tough guys, right? Well, in this case, we could take tough gals, too,
Yes.
because his wife could probably be in the Foxhole easily with Mr. Rodriguez. We are talking about Jacob Rodriguez, who's had himself a whale of a day, 10 tackles, a tackle for loss, a forced fumble right here, and then a scoop and score, essentially, or a strip and score, whatever you want to call it. But he had a monster game, and we'll put him in the Foxhole. I want him in any Foxhole with me, partner.
So
And you as well.
I appreciate
you're,
that.
You're welcome to join.
You know what? I might leave it up to you, Jacob, and his wife, Emma, and I'll just cheer you guys on. No, I'm just messing around. But, again, there's Emma Rodriguez, who is a helicopter pilot for the U.S. Army. She was freaking out when she saw her husband make that strip fumble, run it in for the touchdown. She's here, able to be in attendance. Just such a cool moment as Texas Tech is in this victory formation, and this is weird symmetry. There's been only one other time that Texas Tech has scored 40 or more points and shut out a Big 12 opponent. That took place November 11th, 2000 against Oklahoma State.
It's like a bizarro world.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Wild. As we said before, it's just spooky. That will run out the clock as Texas Tech, a team that's known for its offense, they put up 42 points, but now known for its defense, a top 10 defense, first shutout against a Big 12 opponent since 2005. What a job there by Joey McGuire as he embraces the interim head coach Doug Meacham for Oklahoma State. I want to know your takeaways from this game.
My takeaways are that Texas Tech's defense is legit, like legit good, up there with Ohio State and Miami and the other blue bloods out there. I think they're as good as anybody in the country. And listen, when they're able to get their offense back 100% healthy, meaning Baron Morton is back on the field.
Yep.
And by all accounts, he's going to play next week.
Yep.
Against Kansas State on the road, November 1st. And then that big one, BYU, November 11th. I think this Texas Tech team, I mean, there's still a lot of work to do.
Yep.
It's a tough conference, but I would not be surprised if they're in the college football playoff, you know, come December.
Yep, I'm right there with you. And for this team, they had to bounce back after last week's State. They started it in a big way with that kickoff return for a touchdown. For Doug Fox and our entire crew, I am Justin Kutcher saying so long from Lubbock, Texas, where the Red Raiders wrecked them. They won 42-0 against Oklahoma State. Have a great night, everybody.